2026 is promising to be an incredible year for books, and we are publishing some books that I really am highly anticipating. So I have painstakingly curated a list of 10 books that you need to get to this year. I've created a concoction of books. We have different genres, different authors, and some of them are really sad and some of them are beautifully happy. So if you are interested in having some great recommendations to kickstart your year, then look no further. This May, we are publishing Douglas Stuart's brand new novel. This is his third novel, John of John. When the news broke that this is what we were publishing this year, quite honestly, everyone was going feral for it in the office, online, in any bookish space I can possibly think of. Everybody's so excited for this book, and I am no different. John of John is the story of a young man who returns home. His family have kind of called him to coming back. They've kind of coerced him into coming back to a place that he really doesn't want to go to for reasons that you find out the deeper you go into the book. And when he gets there, he realizes that his family are exactly as he left them. And that's not necessarily a thing that he wanted to happen. The expectations of his family are weighing very heavily on his shoulders, and John doesn't know if he can actually reach those expectations. Our main character, John Callum, John of John, is battling many demons and many struggles in this book, and it's literary fiction that really just opens your eyes and makes you realize how lonely it can be living on an island where everybody knows everybody and there's nothing new going on. It's such a glorious tale of family and identity. For our fantasy fans, we have Daggermouth coming out. Daggermouth is a book that I'm waiting so impatiently for. I'm thrilled about this book. Daggermouth promises to be a dark dystopian romance by H.M. Wolfe. It's the first book in a duology, and we're in a world where lots of the people in charge of the regime wear masks. However, they are never allowed to take their masks off. Get ready for it, get ready for it. If they take off their mask and somebody sees them, sees their face, they have to get married. Is that not just like the best thing ever? So obviously our main character may see something happen, and it leads these two people to be entangled together. And not only are they entangled together as people trying to figure out a new dynamic of something they have been forced into, there also may be secrets uncovered to topple the regime. So Grayson and Shadira, our main characters, have to essentially decide whether they want to work on this together or consume each other and annihilate the other person. Yeah, enemies to lovers at its finest, people. This is what we've been waiting for. February is set to be the month of love, and not because of Valentine's Day, come on, because of B.K. Borison. And Now Back to You is the sequel to First Time Caller, except these books are a standalone companion novel, so essentially they're set in the same world, but you don't have to read First Time Caller to have read And Now Back to You. I love this book. The end. No, I'm kidding. Love this book. I devoured it so quickly. It's such a heartwarming romance. B.K. Borison really does manage to make you feel so cozy and comfortable whilst reading her books. I really am fully immersed, and she makes me believe in love again, which is a hard thing for a girl like me. Jackson is your type A man. He is very straight, suited and booted. He's looking after his younger sister, so he really has to take on a parental figure role as well. Delilah is a storm in a teacup. She's crazy. She's boisterous and loud and charming and wonderful. And where some people would say she's too much, she realizes that you can't be too much to the right person. Jackson and Delilah do not see eye to eye, first of all, and when they get stuck in a snowstorm together, suddenly they are having to look at each other face on. And I cannot physically express to you how much I love B.K. Borison. It's quite unfathomable. And Jackson is my man. I loved First Time Caller. Do not get me wrong here. Let's not get things twisted. First Time Caller was a phenomenal book. But this one feels more like it was made for me. And I think when you find a romance book specifically that does that, it makes you realize that anything feels possible. And that's what I always get with these books. I always feel like, wow, I can do anything now. Because if these characters are able to go out there and be passionate and honest and vulnerable with other people, then I can too. Maybe. These books just incite so much hope in me, and I love them for that. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we need a thriller, aka let's get a murder trial going. Coming out in May, Dissection of Murder tells the story of a barrister who is given a case of murder. Her client has specifically asked for her, and once a client has asked for a specific barrister, the barrister cannot say no unless they are unqualified. And our main girlie she's qualified. She really does not want to take on this role. She does not enjoy it at all. She's nervous, she's anxious because the defense lawyer she's going up against is her husband. Yeah. So not only do we see the trials and tribulations of the murder trial, we also are seeing her life breaking down because things were getting a little bit too close to home. The whole time I was just wondering, what is the twist going to be? Because every good thriller has a twist that you don't see coming. And I can safely say that this one is going to divide some of you, and that's what makes it so good. It's also going to be a TV show on Apple, which is great news because now I get to see it brought to life on screen. But if you want a fast-paced, twisty thriller that's not been done before, Dissection of Murder is the way to go. I absolutely loved Rewitched and Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood, and coming this autumn we are publishing Disenchanted. We don't know too much about the book yet, but we do know that it's set in the same world as Uncharmed, as Rewitched. It's gonna have the cozy nostalgia, witchy vibes that we all love. Sage Hemlock has no interest in being a witch. She's got no interest in magic. It's betrayed her before, and so she feels scarred and she's not ready to go back to it. So when Sage accidentally triggers a historical curse and things start to look a bit awry, she realizes that maybe fairy tales are coming true and she needs to fix that. Lucy Jane Wood manages to capture the essence of a cozy fantasy that makes you cheery and happy, and I just love her for it. The books always make me feel so joyous whenever I read them, and I can't wait for this one to come out. This one you actually don't have to wait long for because publishing in February is Motherfaker. When I read this, it really reminded me of a modern day Bridget Jones. Our main character, Barry, is in a very tricky financial situation. Everything is looking very dire for her. Her husband has left her in a mess and she needs to get out of Guernsey. She is stuck on this island and she is sick of it. She's sick of the people, the daily life, the mundanity. She's done. And so she thinks, how can she get out of this situation? She should fake a pregnancy to get a year off work paid. She crafts this perfectly detailed plan on how she is going to pretend to be pregnant and then have a baby for a year. Of course, though, she's not pregnant and she doesn't have a baby. And the more she lies to people around her, the deeper she realizes she is in this society, and maybe she doesn't actually want to leave. But now she's so far into her secret that there's no other choice. It's fun and it's silly at times, but also the characters feel so heartfelt to you. You really think, oh wow, I can see myself in Barry and I can see myself in her doctor. I think it's just such a great debut novel. Like, this being Anna Brooke Mitchell's debut novel is insane. If you're after a Bridget Jones-esque fun book that you can really sink your teeth into, Motherfaker is exactly what you need to read. From the author of Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Toshikazu Kawaguchi, we have Before I Knew I Loved You. This is the 6th book in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series and is just as heartwarming as ever. In a cafe in Tokyo, there is a very specific and special seat that if you sit in it, you can order a coffee and also go back to a point in your life previously, so long as you're at the cafe. The only rule of this is you have to get back to the cafe and live out your memory before the coffee gets cold. The 6th book again follows 4 new guests who are experiencing this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and are able to go back and say things maybe they never got to say and talk about things that they always wanted to talk about. But of course, that one rule still stands. They have to get back before the coffee gets cold. I'm really excited for this one. I can't wait. The cover is also just beautiful. Almost Life promises to be a sapphic one day. From Kiran, Millwood, Hargrave, we've got Erica and Law who meet on the steps of the Sacre-Cœur in 1978. And of course, the moment that they meet, there is this undeniable spark between the pair of them. But are the couple actually brave enough to go after what they want? Because obviously, during this period, times are trying for the queer community. This is an unforgettable love story of the past and shows all the lives that you could almost have. Everybody that I know who has read this has cried, and I'm really excited to cry at a book because I feel like if a book is able to evoke such a strong emotion from you, then it can't be anything less than perfection. And honestly, that's what I think this book is going to be. This is going to be one that I think everybody will talk about. Olivie Blake is also back this August with Dreamland, which is her brand new novel. In the summer in Los Angeles, girls are being murdered. Anya Morris should have other things on her mind because she was supposed to have this big debut TV break and she lost it. Enter William DeWitt, who is an aging Hollywood star. His son Jude is a recluse, and so he pays Anya to spend time with Jude, which of course grants her access to the most exclusive and elite circles. But of course, where there are elite circles, there are also elite secrets. And Anya cannot resist the magnetism that she feels towards Jude. So as the city's body count continues to grow, something has to give. I'm so excited. I really feel like this is Olivie Blake coming back to her roots. Like, Olivia's never written a bad book, but this book is just Olivie Blake at her finest, and I can't wait for everyone to read it because it is just a phenomenal piece of work. And then the final book recommendation that I'm going to give you is Sisters in Yellow by Miko Kawakami. This is also publishing in March. Sisters in Yellow tells a story of long enduring friendships. It tells a story of deep betrayals. And honestly, it is a masterpiece to teenage dreams and the adult cruelties that then stem from those teenage dreams. Our main character is full of optimism, she's full of hope, but what happens when that hope and the optimism is kind of drawn to its absolute finest and it's completely drawn to the end? Can you still remain hopeful in times where there is no hope? Miko Kawakami is a profound writer whose books are just perfect literary fictions to me. Not only is the cover on this one absolutely gorgeous, the writing is too. And again, it's just going to be one of those books that you really need to keep an eye out for and you really need to read. So those are all my recommendations. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you feel like you now have a good amount of choice to make on what to read. You can read all of them, you could read one of them, you could read 5. There's something for everyone in this list. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.